I just ran my HYROX Pro Solo debut in Phoenix this past weekend. My overall time was 1 hour and 5 minutes and 9 seconds. I'm gonna do a race breakdown of all my splits, how everything felt, what I expected leading into the race, and just kind of go over what went well and what went wrong. Overall, I'm super happy with the result and how everything went. I was 16th in my age group, 59th overall out of 600 and something total racers, which is pretty good. I would like to be in the top 10%, I would say, so I'm just outside of that. But let's start with the runs. So my running total time was 31:56, which came out to a 4-minute flat average pace per lap. It's a little bit slower if you do the run plus rock zone divided by 8.7. My rock zone time was 3:54, so it was okay. Could definitely be better. First of all, my goal for my race pace and what I trained at leading up to Phoenix was that I wanted to run around 3:55s or 4 on the conservative side. I didn't want to go slower than that. So happy I ended up being at a 4-minute average pace on the runs, but it was definitely on the slower side of what I thought I was capable of leading into this. But overall, I'm still happy that I'm improving because my run paces have been improving, and this is my fastest run time out of all my races, and this is just my first time running pro. So leading into the race, I definitely thought 102 to 103 was there, which is similar to what my best open time is. What I ran in November in Chicago was a 102 open time, and I thought that with my training block that I put in, I could get close to that and maybe even better on a good day if everything clicked. But as soon as I came into, and as soon as I hit the sled push and how it didn't move as fast as I, had thought it was going to, and what I had trained at, and I even trained at heavier weights on the sleds. It didn't move. It didn't feel the same. It was definitely harder, and I had to end up breaking up each length into thirds, the back half of the sled push, which wasn't part of my plan, which ate up some time and ended up a little bit slower. And after the sleds, I kind of knew it was hard. It was going to be hard. I was in it early. Heart rate was jacked up early, and I knew it was going to be, just had to not redline, not blow up. It was hard because I was teetering that for pretty much sleds until the finish. So anyway, we'll go into the runs. My fastest run was a 3:43, which was the second run, which is pretty fast. I did the first one in 3:53, and it was even a little bit of a longer run. So the first two were probably in the close to the same. And then I did 3:56, 3:59, 4:08, 4:03, 4:07, 4:11. So the last run was just a little bit longer because of the setup. But as you can see, I kind of the overall trend is that I'm just getting a little bit slower each time. Not by a crazy amount. Like I didn't have a crazy bad run in there. 4:08 was my slowest, besides the 4:11 at the end. But ideally, we got to keep those all under 4 and keep them more consistent. So obviously the slowest one was run 5, ski, push, pull, which would be after burpees, which makes sense because those spike heart rate. Overall, I'm happy that I'm improving, but still, I think moving forward, I just need to train faster than what I plan to do in the race, because it's always a complete different beast when you get to a solo race than what you're just training at the gym on a weekly basis. Completely different animal. Let's go into the workouts, because definitely lots of good and lots of things that I need to work on, and a lot of stations that were slower than I thought. Ski 410, that's totally okay. I mean, I want it to be anywhere between 4 and 415, because you obviously don't want to blow up on the ski, but if you push too hard, you will. Yeah, you push it too hard too early, you will blow up at the end. So 410 I think was okay. I was skiing around a 157 pace. Then sled push 259. I thought I was going to be closer to a 230 on this one, just based off how all the workouts I've been doing in my gym have gone, but I find that it's going to be very hard to replicate what the HYROX carpet feels like. Adding more weight might be the solution, which I might need to do moving forward, which I already trained 5 to 10% heavier than race weight, but maybe this means do more, because I kind of know how it feels now. So I think we need to add more weight, but keeping it under 3 is still a positive for my first pro race. And the run out of that rock zone, out of sled push, was like, whoa, okay. My legs feel like jello. This is not good, because we're only 2 stations in. But kept it together, got into the sled pull, which I think, got into the sled pull. There was kind of like a big group of us at this point, about 10 people that were kind of in the similar area on run pace and stations. And then it started to kind of fizzle out after sled pull. But 352, which is okay. You know, I thought if I could keep it under 4, I'd be totally happy. I think there's definitely room for improvement. I slipped a couple times, but I'm actually happy with my first sled pull in the pro. So not really anything to complain about there, just getting a little bit faster. And then sled push, obviously, I think we could chop off some time. Burpees, which ended up being one of my best stations, just looking at my rank out of what I ranked compared to the field. This is my best station relative to the field, which I was 59th, which is my exact place out of 634 people. 312, which is, I want to get that number under 3. I do it all the time in training. It's obviously completely different when you're in the middle of a race and you're in it. 312, I'm improving. This is my fastest burpee time so far, even in the pro races as well. So I'm happy I'm improving there. I did the knee instead of the step up technique. I would go to a knee and then step up. It's a little bit of a slower cadence, but I'm able to be more consistent throughout the whole thing and not like take huge breaks or anything. So we could shave off 15 seconds for sure. Row. Definitely a point where in the past I've used it as active recovery in my open races, but that wasn't happening. This one, for the most part, I was still like, my effort was still high. And I was trying to row, and the goal was to try to row 153 to 155 pace. And I barely could hold the 158 to 2. So definitely a struggle, but my heart rate did come down a little bit towards the back 500 meters, but got a 427, which I wasn't very happy with that. So I want to get closer to the 4-minute range, 4 to 4:15, just like ski. But I think we could chop off 10 to 15 seconds there for sure. Then farmer's carry. Heavier weights in the pro division. I was moving so well until my only goal was to just not drop it, and I dropped it twice. Luckily, it was a grip issue. I'm totally capable of doing the farmer's carry strength-wise, but it was a grip strength issue, I would say. I don't know. I think it might have been my gloves. I brought gloves kind of just to like skip the chalk on the sled pull in the farmers and just go right into it. My gloves were a little bit loose where it was kind of like ripping my glove out from, it was almost like trying to tear the glove off my hand. So it was like a little bit of slip there that where I had to drop them twice, but still 143, which is okay. I think that would be 130, 125 to 130 on a good day where I didn't drop it. And I think moving forward, I probably won't use gloves. So with still dropping it twice, very happy with that. And that's my fastest farmer's carry too. Even with the open weights, I went slower. So sandbag lunges, number 7. Not happy with this one. Took way too many breaks, I think, at the top of the lunge. 357. I wanted this to be closer to 315, 330. So I need to work on these a lot more, this prep, to shave off some time, because I think these could end up being a weapon for me if I get better at them. But ideally, in the pro weight, it was a lot harder. I had a cadence going, but it was a down back course for the sandbags. So on like the last straightaway, I was just doing like 1 or 2, and then I was taking a break, and then I was doing 1 or 2, taking a break. And that's like, no, we need to lock in our cadence and do it the whole time. And I think it's kind of a mental thing when you get to sandbag lunges, because you can really push through them and be okay. So I think I need to get over the mental hurdle there. I could shave off 20 to 30 seconds for sure. Last but not least, wall balls. Not happy with these. Happy that I got through them, and still managed to get a 105, but 459 is not acceptable. Yeah, I mean, I was ripping sub 4 in training. I know that's the thing, is like training splits really don't matter that much unless you're mimicking the fatigue and the running volume of an actual race. So really, the best way to train lunges and wall balls and farmers, if it's going to be to get better at them for a HYROX race, is you got to be fatigued going into them. Like, you can work on them for technique, which my technique is all sound for all these, but if you're not super fatigued going into the training, how are you going to know what you're going to feel like when you get there? So wall balls, this is the part that I really need to fix. I think sandbag lunges and wall balls are the two that are like, okay, that's like a minute and a half that we can just shave off right there. Just by following a plan and getting a little bit better, because my cadence was great watching the videos back. I got a couple no reps for depth early just because I was kind of settling in, which is fine. I missed the target a couple times too. I probably had 5 or 6, I don't know, between 5 and 8 no reps, which is fine. I can clean that up, but I broke way too much. The plan was that I wanted to rip out 32 to start. Then do 18 to get to 50, and then just kind of survive, and then do 10 to 12 sets, quick rest, get through it. That should have put me around low 4s to 420. I broke at 7. 7 wall balls in, I broke. So mentally, I was already kind of checked out. It's like, get through this. Physically, I think I could have pushed through those without as many breaks as I did. So I think I did 7 the first one, but then I did between 10 and 12 until the end. I think my last set was probably the most I did, probably like 16 or 17 in a row to finish. So overall, so much to work on. And I think with just improving my running, which obviously has a lot more room for improvement to shave off my time, and then just tweaking up the stations. With station wise, I think I can chop off 2 to 3 minutes right there just with tweaking these stations and getting better at them. But then running a couple more minutes potentially. So I think for my next race, I mean, if I can really clean up these things, sub 60 is not really out of the picture. And that's the plan. I mean, eventually I want to get to that place. So I'm kind of addicted to HYROX right now. I want to get sub 60. And I think that's going to be my goal. So overall, 105, first HYROX Pro Solo race, first pro race at all. I talked to a couple guys afterwards that, you know, are very experienced, and one of them said, hey, you do a race in June and you train for it nonstop, sub 60 will be there for you. If you know, he's like, yeah, I think sub 60 is in the cards for sure. So I think I'm going to announce it right now, but HYROX New York, early June, first weekend of June, I'm doing it and going to go for a big PR. And we're going to go to shave off a lot of time. And depending, you know, obviously I want sub 60 in New York. That would be awesome, but we're going to just see how the training goes. And I have some things to tweak, and I have a new training plan coming up starting next week, which I will be posting weekly vlogs. I'm excited to showcase all my training moving forward and this next big race that we're doing. And I'm excited because this is going to be a big block. It is February 11th. That's like 4 months of just straight work. And it kind of, I like that. I want to put in a big block, get super fit, and crush it. So that's the plan. HYROX New York. We're doing it. The road to sub 60, HYROX Pro Solo. So appreciate all you guys for watching, coming up to me, saying hi in HYROX Phoenix at Phoenix. That was awesome. I hope you guys are crushing out there. Let me know if you have any questions. But if you're new here, subscribe, because I have a ton more coming, big goals ahead, and I want to document the journey. So appreciate you guys. See you in the next video, week 1.